Okay, so we'll begin our committee of the whole meeting for October the 11th, 2016. Public Works and Maintenance up on the top. 1.1 is a leak detector.
You'll have to bear with me. I didn't know until 5:30 today I was doing this part of the meeting. So, the Town of the Paw has been using a leak detection device to help reduce water loss. In September 2016, the engineering department had to send the unit back to Ecologics for repairs. Ecologics informed the engineering department that the unit is unrepairable as they no longer make the parts. However, they will upgrade the unit with the new Leak Finder ST and give us a credit from the old unit. The full cost of the Leak Finder ST will be $14,595. This amount has already been approved for purchase through the Federal Gas Tax Reserve, and the reserve will have approximately $1.4 million after the purchase. The engineering department recommends accepting the purchase of the new upgraded Leak Finder ST from Ecologics, and a resolution is required.
Okay.
And if you have any questions, you can ask Chris the questions, not me.
I have a question.
Sure.
Did you drop it?
No comments. No one actually dropped it. We had it out a week before. It was working fine, detecting leaks and whatnot. And then we went back to the same location, trying to look for leaks, and I guess one of the microphones decided to stop working. So this happened before in the past when we first purchased it. Had to send it away to get fixed, but this time, unfortunately, they don't make that model anymore. They're kind of phasing that out to the old style.
So what's the life expectancy of this new one before it becomes, oops, we don't make those parts?
Oh, with the technology age, that's a good question. I mean, every other day there's something new. But this type of technology, it'd be difficult to say. I don't know, 5-10 years.
Okay.
Oh, this is the one that we have right now.
It was here before I came. I believe they bought it, I want to say in 2009 maybe?
So 6 or 7 years.
We lose 30% of our water 2 weeks, so I'm okay with spending $14,500 on a machine to help us try to curb some of that.
Save the money on one dig, wouldn't you?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That puts you in the right spot for the digs, right? That's what this thing does?
Exactly. It's a correlator, so it basically just listens to the noise for the leak, and then you give it a distance and it tells you where it is within a few feet.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion?
Good for
Okay.
resolution.
It's got a resolution in, yeah. Okay, 1.2, MIT snow removal agreement.
The Town of the Paw has had an agreement with MIT to remove snow on highways within the Town of the Paw for many years now. Town receives $254.35 per centimeter of snow, which falls in the Paw as reported by Environment Canada. There was a 3% increase in 2016, and there is no increase for 2017. We just need a resolution to accept the agreement to continue. And it's snowing right now.
It's been snowing for a week
Yeah, it's snowing right now.
in October.
So we just need a resolution to sign the agreement, if council is in favor.
Councillor Rock.
I was just wondering, is there a pattern to every second year there's no increase, or?
Looks like they're headed that way.
Like, I don't understand the rest. Some years are back-to-back 3% increases, and then other years there's a zero in there. And I'm wondering who decides that, or how does that work?
MIT, they're the ones who kind of hold the reins on an increase or not. We can ask that there be an increase. Last year we asked for that, and we didn't receive one.
Is this a break-even arrangement with them?
Oh, it's a make money arrangement.
Hmm?
We make money.
Okay.
With the resolution.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's a good answer then.
yeah, it's on the resolution if you look. So. Revenues and
Part of the reason for not pushing the 3% request increase last year was because it is a cash generator for us. And so even though their response was that they didn't want to see an increase, it doesn't put us in a position where we're not seeing an appropriate amount of revenue for the use of our equipment.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Okay,
Resolution?
resolution please. 1.3, weigh scale.
This is further information as requested by council from the September 15th meeting with regards to the service agreement with Superior Technologies. With the service agreement, this is for the scale at the landfill. With the service agreement, the technician hourly wage is $85 an hour. Without the service agreement, the hourly wage is $105 an hour. The service agreement will ensure that our scale is calibrated every year Approximate yearly cost to service and calibrate the scale will be $2,313.36 with service agreement, $2,793.36 without the service agreement. The engineering department recommends accepting the service support agreement for Superior Technologies. And Chris can elaborate if you have questions.
So I'll ask the question, is this going to mean that when I pull up and I go to the dump, that I'm going to see a reading? Or do I have to get my paper receipt to see that?
That was one thing we talked about, right? Like,
The servicing of it, the $2,000 and some dollars there, that's just to make sure that the scale is calibrated.
Okay.
The full repair of those outside monitors is that
The breakdown.
that I gave you guys there.
Yeah.
Which is in the $12,000 there, so.
Okay. Yep.
So are we calibrated right now? When was the last time we were calibrated?
We're at the fringe basically now that we need to get it calibrated. Measurement Canada, because the type of scale that we are, we can max it out to every 2 years. And at this point we are getting close to that 2-year mark. So that calibration is to happen.
I'm fine with the calibration if we need the calibration. I honestly think that spending an extra $9,000 to have the scale LCD readout when you're sitting on the scale, I just don't think that's an expense we should be expending at this point in time.
Councillor Wright?
If that's not going to work, can we get rid of it?
Put it down.
Get rid of what, the whole scale?
Get rid of if there's supposed to be a readout for the driver going across our weigh scale and it isn't working, then why would we annoy them by having it there?
I guess we could tear it down, you know. I mean, that would be a cost to the town if we decide to start doing a tear down, but yeah, that's definitely an option.
Well, and to me, I guess in terms of service to our customers, we have to wonder, well, maybe they should have the right to know what it is without having to look for a printout or something. We're charging them by weight, and we've had one person come in and dispute it in the recent past, so I'm just wondering about, well, why do we have this thing if it doesn't work? And it just makes us look poor, I think, when we have equipment that doesn't function properly. That's all.
I mean, I would say, like we discussed before, I don't see any point in fixing those LCD or LED readouts because they'll just be smashed in a week because kids go in there around the fence, whatever, and smash them, that's what they do. So I don't disagree with the point that it would be nice if people were able to pull up, see what their weight is going in, and then pull up on the way out and see what the rate is going out, and then pay, and they'll get a receipt which shows what their weights were, and they can know that those are the same. But you know, for future reference, I guess, at some point, if we decide that we are in a position to fix those displays, maybe that can be made to actually appear within the window of the scale building as a readout that the vehicle can see without it being a post standing on the outside somewhere, so that it's protected from the outside and still showing the display with it. Maybe that's right in the window, but I'm not interested in spending any more money than we have to right now on that scale. No.
Can we, sorry.
I just have one other thing here too. If we are getting this servicing done, like these guys, I'm assuming that they're driving down here and they're hitting, like their scales here, their scales in Clinton, their scales in Thompson, I don't know where else they would be, but they're supposed to be at basically every dump. Could we not, I don't know, it just seems like for a $2,300 or $2,800 touch for them to come and service it when it's actually, you know, $273 of work, but it's costing us 10 times that because of the mileage. Could we not piggyback on with some of the other surrounding areas and maybe try and work out a deal with this company and with the other communities to try and save us some money on the travel? I don't know. It's an expense that is expensive. For sure.
I did look into that option. Unfortunately, this company in particular, we are the most northern scale that they have. We're the only ones. They do a lot of work in and around the Winnipeg area, but it doesn't seem like they have any skills anymore to us.
So who's servicing like Flin Flon and Thompson?
I'm not sure that there was a company in Saskatchewan that I was dealing with previous because they were quite a bit more expensive. Like our concrete plants here, not the towns, but like non-managed. He gets his service through a company through Saskatchewan, and we were kind of piggybacking off of him. Unfortunately, with communication between me and this company, it just seems they're kind of dodging the idea of coming back here. Not sure why. We pay our bills. I can continue to maybe look at that option because they do work here, and then he also goes further north as well. So we should definitely get cost savings.
No, if we need to be calibrated, we need to be calibrated or whatever, but it's just if we can save some money.
Oftentimes, it's geography and you end up paying the buck, and it's very upsetting, and it makes the person angry, because you stop every 20 minutes and charge them big bucks for travel. Any other discussion? Okay, bring it forward as a resolution then.
So we're going to do a resolution to accept the service
Right.
agreement, but we're not doing the repairs.
We're not fixing the LED display.
No, we're not fixing it.
There was another piece that something that communicated between the scale and the actual computer board thingy or whatever that needs to be replaced in order for them to be able to use it properly, right? But as far as we're concerned, the LED display, I guess, is a little too fancy for our budget right now.
Those two things are one and the same.
Oh.
Fix one, you fix both.
So we don't. But we can still print out people's things
We can still
and.
print out, but the guy in the shack, he has a monitor that tells him how much is on the scale.
Yep.
And he has to manually input that to the computer. By fixing it, there's an automated, you push a button and it reads out that information through the computer.
So I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be blunt. We're gonna spend $11,000 so that a guy doesn't have to press a couple of buttons every time.
You don't have to, it's not a requirement.
Okay, well, I'm gonna.
The biggest thing that I'm worried about
do it.
is mostly the servicing calibration. Just
Right.
make sure that it's-
Right. So we can still sign the service agreement with them without getting them to come here right now, though, right? Okay.
I don't think we should even be doing that at this point, though, because if we're not necessarily sure that we're gonna be using this company, because I'm assuming that would walk us into,
That would lock us in for servicing. That is what we- I mean, we could, I
Table.
guess, table the idea,
Yeah.
and I can go back to these other companies to continue to help them, to get them up here, and go from there.
When you've approached these other companies?
When do we need to be calibrated
I was just
by?
gonna say,
There's gotta be
give
rules
us
and
a
regulations
deadline.
about this, yeah.
I'd have to double check, I don't know the date offhand.
well, Waits and Measurements was just here 2-3 months ago, and we were perfectly fine, so.
That's true.
I don't think they're
That
gonna be
doesn't
jumping.
change the legislative requirement to get
Yeah.
calibrated every second year.
Probably not in the next 2 weeks, though, right? We're not gonna be.
Last I know, I think it was sometime in November, December, something like that, if I remember correctly.
So Flin Flon, you talked with Flin Flon, and they said they use this other company, but we're not getting much pushback. Is that all that was? Is that sort of?
They have this, I can't remember offhand, but I believe they have the same programming, Superior Tech, but they're using a different company that calibrates them. Quite a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I
Reach out to them.
tend to agree with Chad that if we're not planning on spending a bunch of money on repairs, which is when a service agreement actually benefits you, because it gets you a reduced rate. So if our plan is to basically spend as little money as possible anyway on repairs and do the minimum amount of maintenance and calibration, then locking into a 5-year service agreement doesn't necessarily make it a big deal. So if we're not repairing the board, and even that, the cost of the board and the labor associated with it, the service agreement rates are the same as the normal rates. It would appear that the only break we're getting is on the actual technician and the overtime travel.
So what's our wish here then?
Get it calibrated, but let's not sign the service agreement. That's my thought.
Needs to be calibrated, it's calibrated.
Everybody okay with that? Okay.
And we're not getting the LD, that sign fixed?
No.
Okay.
Not at this time, like, I don't think we should be tearing it down, don't tear it down tomorrow.
You sure? Sorry, some of the guys.
You could put a sticky on there out of order.
And why do you need to tear it down?
No, I'm saying, no, we're not tearing.
Out of sight, out of mind, that's
Or
what
just cover it over? or
We should just cover it
Put
over.
a plastic bag on it.
You leave it there
Don't
long
think-
enough, somebody's gonna.
Somebody
turn
will
it
have
over.
some
There are people that use that landfill, hundreds of dollars a month worth, that every time they go through there, they see that sign and they go,
What they should do is every time they're over in scale, pick up the phone and call the province and ask them to explain again why we had to install a scale in our own landfill.
it's easy to flip the guy the bird, eh?
Okay, so
Okay.
get it calibrated, but no service agreement, and do not fix the
Yeah,
sign.
okay.
Got that,
2.1,
Chris?
911, 911.
These are the service fees for 2017 for 911. There was a 19-cent annual fee increase. This is just information. We'll just have to take it into consideration when we're working on the budget. It's just increased a little.
Yeah,
It was just for information.
okay, so we'll
Forward
receive
to
it
the
as such.
CFO we don't have
Okay.
a choice.
No, I
End of
know.
the day.
Gotta pay it. Okay, so next up is 3.1, the animal shelter. Sorry I had to wait so long there. Okay,
At the August 22nd, 2016 Committee of the Whole meeting, Councillor Gibb proposed that Council designate an available lot on Morse Road for an animal shelter. The area is zoned light industrial light and would be a better fit than locations previously proposed. The lot would be provided at a cost of $1 should the following conditions be met. Solid business case provided, all groups work together in providing a single solution for the property. The offer of the land on Morse Road is only available until September 1st, 2008. The committee recommended a letter be sent to the three parties and remind them about working together if they are interested in this. Attached is a letter from Debbie Howell, and I believe she was part of what you presented tonight, organizing it all. The plan that Lorraine brought forward.
okay, recommendation?
Okay, I'm just, sorry,
Oh.
I'm just a little bit confused because Debbie's letter kind of makes it sound like you guys aren't working together.
I think that was before.
It
you guys
precisely
got working
says that.
together.
Well, it's-
Well, I called a meeting on September 24th,
And,
okay.
and Linda came as representative of Northern Lights Animal Shelter,
Okay,
wanting to be replying to my calls. And
And
then I realized that Deborah had sent that letter before. So
You're aware this letter was sent from Debbie to us?
I read
From the Northern Lights, okay.
But not, I didn't, that was after that.
I think what council is hoping to see is that all three groups can be united in moving forward on this. And at this point in time, it doesn't look like you're 100% there. Like we want you to get, like, I mean, this has been going on, as it was mentioned earlier, for years and years and years. And so we have a good opportunity here to actually get moving. And so the town, it was mentioned earlier that if you had land, it would be able to allow you to apply for grants and all kinds of things. So, you know, that's for sure what we're interested in doing. We have suggested that you go to the RM and go to OCN, and that you guys go as a united group. I don't know.
I think it would be probably more feasible if we had a committee of people working towards this project, not just the two groups. I think that's what I was asking for in our presentation.
and I think that that's a good idea, but I think we need to find who would be interested in sitting on that committee or being a part of that group, right? So, like, I think if you go to the RM and again to OCN, I know we've probably said that to you 10 times tonight now, but like kind of see where their head's at and see if that's something that they would be willing to do and if they would be willing to have representation there. And that, yeah, like a steering committee is an excellent idea. I just don't think that it's proper or that it's right for us to kind of spearhead it right now, so that like I think the three of you, like the three groups going as a united front, like Jim said, would be the best option. Because another thing that we don't want to have happen is if we say to you, yes, okay, here's a lot on Morse Road for $1, and you go and you're able to apply for grants and build an animal shelter, and then in 2 years from now we have the Northern Lights Animal Shelter coming to us and saying like, hey, we can't work with them or whatever, we need some land now, and you know what I mean? So I think that we really need to make sure that everybody's kind of on the same page and is working towards common priorities. And I do think a steering committee would be a good idea, and that it shouldn't just be, two people that are carrying the brunt of this, and that I think that those people are out there in the community, and that, like once you, again, approach the RM and OCN and come back to us once you guys have been able to have a conversation with them, and maybe a conversation between you and Debbie, just to kind of say, hey, can we go and present this kind of united front as one shelter and not two groups that are looking to build a shelter, that those are all really good steps in the right direction. And I mean, I definitely feel your frustration in seeing some momentum. I'm involved in a couple of projects like the spray park. Like, we've been selling cookies and freezies and hot dogs and stuff for the spray park forever. So, I mean, I totally understand that. But I mean, I think you guys are getting somewhere. You just have a few more things you need to kind of cross off to really get there and to really start to see some momentum going.
Could I ask for the address again? I got Morris Road.
We didn't really.
Well, we didn't give you a number, we just said a lot on Morris.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so there's a number of lots on that road that
are vacant.
they're vacant, so.
Yeah, and it's kind of.
And it would,
yeah,
if
it's
for
by-
some
it's
reason
by
they all
hydro.
sold,
Yeah.
then we would find another one, but they've been for sale for about 30 years. So there's a good chance that some of them will still be around.
I like the price.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is.
So I just think, like if you can go get a little bit from everybody and then come back, and then at that point, you probably can form up your group. I don't think there's anybody better suited than yourself to do this. Really, your dedication is unbelievable, unbelievable. So.
I guess that's what I'm worried about, but I don't know how much longer I can do what I do. So it would be really nice to see a shelter getting pushed ahead a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, and I asked earlier, sorry, but do I have to come back to you to ask you if you're willing to sit on the steering committee?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Like, I think for us to say like, yeah, sure, right now, and then like for the RM and OCN to say, no, like I'm not really interested, like us sitting there with you, it's not really going to do a lot for you, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
If I go to them and say, I haven't got support from Town of the Paw, they haven't.
But you
told
do.
me whether
The town of the
I-
Paw's given us land. Now, what are you in for?
Oh,
What are
really?
you in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're saying like we
I was
have.
just thinking of the committee part of it. That's,
I
if
think-
could say that they're willing to sit down with us on a committee, would you?
I think that by us giving you the land and saying we're really willing to give you a plot of land for the shelter for $1, that shows that we already have skin in the game, and that we're willing to put that skin in the game, and that we're willing to, I guess, be at the table in one way, shape, or another. I'm not committing anybody to a committee right now by any means, but, and like I said, I think that like in order for it to be really effective, you need that buy-in from them as well. Otherwise, there's not going to be a lot of purpose for us to have at that table besides what we've already done, right? Like I said, I mean, saying we have land allocated, like an area allocated that would fit within and whatever, and then obviously once you guys have a little bit more of an idea of what your building is going to look like, we can look at the lots that are there and see like what would fit best. But I mean, I think, like I said, I think we're proving that we are willing to put skin in the game, and that OCN and the RM need to, or hopefully would do the same.
It's 6 years at this table. This is the furthest I've seen it come. I'm encouraged.
I was so encouraged to
Cautiously
hear that.
optimistic, would you say?
Really was.
Yeah.
That really, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Okay, so as far as, could I tell the other councils the approximate size of the lot?
Oh, it's
about the
a,
same.
yeah. Yeah,
It's an
you know what?
industrial
We'll
lot.
supply that to you. Jen will get that
Yeah,
too.
why doesn't she
They're
come
all
in
the
and...
same.
We don't know
Our
what
standards
the
are
lot
on
is.
60.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Just show them.
Are they?
You know, within a,
Are they big enough to put a 2,000 square foot building on?
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure,
so I
and
mean,
have a
like,
lot.
so the lots, any of the lots that are there are, for what you propose,
Meet all the
are
minimums.
adequate for what you brought in and proposed to us. So,
Full-size
while we
townhome.
can't, you know, give you, you're gonna go exactly right here and this is what your dimensions are, like, rest assured that what you presented, you would have
Yeah.
adequate space for.
when you go home tonight, go on Google Earth. It's on Morris Road.
Linda already looked it up on herself.
Okay, there you go.
I thought they said Marsh.
Nope, Morris. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming and waiting so long. Hope you don't get stuck in the snow tonight. I don't know why I'm laughing, I just don't.
Thanks,
All right,
Ray.
Thank you.
let's
Okay,
go.
thank you. Okay, 4.1, 2017 interim budget.
Section 63 of the Municipal Act states that a council may adopt an interim operation budget to have in effect only until the council adopts the operating budget for the fiscal year. The act requires that the interim operation budget be passed before January 1st. The proposed interim operating budget provides funding for the town's operations until as such time as the final budget is approved. The interim amounts are based on the 2016 budget amounts. These amounts are subject to change during budget deliberations for 2017. The interim budget be approved without changes based on the 2016 financial plan, which consists of the following. General government services, $1,580,585. Protective services, $2,698,127. Transportation services, $2,051,224. Environmental services, $423,309. Recreational cultural services, $1,319,415. Fiscal services, $718,079 for a total of $8,885,638. And a resolution is required.
It
This
is.
is done every year
We have.
to get us through till the budget's
We do.
passed.
Any comments?
Thank you.
Good. I'm glad to see it broken out the way it is.
Yep. Anything else?
Uh,
Okay. We'll bring it forward as a resolution. 4.2, the Paw Airport Letter of Acceptance of the Audit.
Collins Barrow HMA LLP has completed the 2015 audit for the Paw Airport. The attached letter of acceptance of responsibility must be signed to move forward. Resolution is required to sign the letter.
Any discussion on that item? Okay, bring it forward for a resolution. 4.3, payment of property taxes.
In September of 2016, Council passed a resolution authorizing the mayor and the assistant CAO to sign a quick claim agreement with Cambrian Vehicle Leasing whereby the town took ownership of the building located on the property at the airport. The town now needs to pay the property taxes for this building as we have now received it. The agreement has been signed by both parties. The town has received the keys for this building. The original agreement was that Cambrian Vehicle Leasing was to pay the property taxes for this property, and that was not occurring. Therefore, we need to pay property taxes in the amount of $8,305.93. The assessment branch has been notified of this, and they will do a reassessment for the property for 2017. And the CAO will be making an appeal to the Board of Revision for the 2016 taxes.
The 2016 taxes.
Because it's to see if they can, because it's empty building, nothing's been there lately.
Mike, are you saying that the property taxes on that dilapidated threeplex are over $8,000?
Yes, because it's in tax sale. And it would be more if we didn't get it out now.
It's an accumulation of taxes.
Okay.
3 years.
Okay.
3 years, sorry, yeah.
Thank you.
3 years plus tax sale services, tax service fees
Okay.
and everything.
Okay.
And if we didn't take it over, it would go to tax sale,
Yeah.
you guys would be stuck.
No, this is
with
the best way to
anyways.
go, for sure. Need a resolution.
Randy?
Anybody else?
Do it.
Yeah.
So if it goes to tax sale,
We're stuck with it, and
If it goes to tax sale, I could buy it. I mean, the
for,
dilapidated building's
for
sitting
the
there still.
$8,305, so
just make sure that we retain
that's
that.
correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Randy, we have the keys, Randy and I haven't had a chance yet, but we are gonna go out there
We're gonna
with
clean?
Sam or Chris and see.
Put your boots on.
Yes, we have all our equipment and everything, because we have no
We have
idea
fire
what's, we have no
practice?
idea what's in there.
No,
I'm not joking.
probably some
And
cameras,
so-
maybe some wiring. Okay,
Resolution?
yeah. 4.4, ATM at the arena. Cash!
Kelsey Recreation has been approached by minor hockey wishing to install an ATM in the lobby of the arena. The Recreation Director feels that this is a great opportunity for the Paul Minor Hockey and Roy H. Johnson Arena. However, she would like to abide by the Town of the Paul policy, where she believes this opportunity would have to be tendered out to the general public. Just like other opportunities at the arena, for example, the concession and the pro shop, skate sharpening booth. She's recommending leasing them space for a small fee or percentage. An agreement would also have to be set up, as we do not want to be responsible for the machine if there's any damages or concerns with their transactions. Randy suggests lease space plus consider percent of earnings and to see what others do. A resolution would be required to move forward with this.
Well, they have the machine and they'll manage the cash, which we heard from our CFO was an issue last week.
Yeah.
And then, in addition to that, we have internet hookup and electricity. So to try to calculate what the space would be worth is an exercise in futility,
It
in
really-
my opinion. Like, how are you gonna say this lobby and this is gonna be worth $10? But what's easy to track with those ATMs is how many transactions there are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say percentage is the way to go, to say split the fee.
Yeah.
Then you're not wasting time and everyone trying to.
4
figure out
square
what's
feet
what.
is not going to be worth very much.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is what we'll do, this is what you guys can do. We'll split the fee, the surcharge is usually $2 at least on those private
Percentage
machines.
of
So a
fee.
percentage of fee, whatever they come up with, but that's the
Okay.
easiest way to go. Because you can get reports on demand of anything. Those.
Yeah, I mean, 10%, just out loud, that's 20 cents per. That's, you do a couple of thousand of those.
I'm not letting you.
Well, whatever, I'm just saying as a number,
I say
you know?
50.
That's way better than, well, I don't know, I'm just saying. It's a service that's not available
Yeah.
currently, and they're asking for it. Right.
What sort of accessibility would the operators of this require? Would it be done within our hours of operation
Interesting, that, right?
Yeah,
in the thing,
Oh, yeah.
and no cash left behind?
What's the safe?
that would be their.
There's cash in there. It's a safe.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
bolted, it'd be bolted to the floor.
Oh, I know what an ATM looks like, and I know how they work.
Yeah.
You have a lot of cash in there, and if it's left overnight, then the potential for attracting
Usually there'd be
the unwanted is
Probably be insured.
there.
That's a good question. The machine would be insured separately.
Yeah.
Which would fall to whoever
Yeah.
that person is.
But I think what Brian's getting into is the property damage as a result from somebody knowing that there's an ATM and we're right in. We've got an alarm system. I know.
Yeah.
We've got insurance.
I don't think
It's not
anybody
gonna
cleans
be
out their
high
ATMs
traffic.
at night and then brings the money in the morning. I don't see that happening ever.
Those things are, I've seen like videos of people like driving.
Yeah, usually they take their truck and they
Yeah,
start
just
just
clean out
put
the
a chain
box,
around
eh?
and pull it.
Oh, well, then that becomes a
That doesn't
It's
even-
a YouTube video and everybody
In
gets
this
to watch
town,
it.
they'll
and
get
watch
2
like-
blocks before they get cut.
There's one right in the window, Fat Boys, and I don't think they've ever had
There's a
any
lot
issues,
easier
right?
places to
There's
take
lots
Or at the
easier
Legion,
things.
you could take out the doors and the machine right away too. Not that we're building a list publicly here.
So council's in favor of this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Chances are there won't be a resolution at the next meeting, it'll just be a resolution to sign the agreement, just we need to move forward with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
Okay,
it
sorry,
would be, it would be
some-
nice to
Yep.
get some sort of a plan as to how they see it functioning, because they haven't told us how they're gonna run this thing, other than they want it on our property, and they're willing to share some. But we don't wanna approve it and then find out, oh, we didn't think you were gonna do it that way.
What do you mean, I don't understand, what way is it you put a card in and you get cash? I don't know any other way that it
No, it's
operates.
it's the maintenance of and maintaining it.
So they
That-
would,
That's where I ask.
That'd be
If
for
our
the-
arena
yeah.
closes at 12 o'clock at night, is the money box gonna be gone and somebody's got it at home?
No, it
No,
stays there.
it
It's safe.
stays
It
in
stays
the
in there.
ATM.
Stays in there.
They're
It's
there
a safe.
24 hours a day, the money's in there 24 hours
Locked
a day.
down. right? And when it's out, they call you or send you an email.
Well, yeah, but those, the money runs out. They have, so,
So then
So
they'll
someone's got to come
come
forward.
and they
so,
put
so,
money in it.
so if they've got $5,000
Yeah.
in there, then, and they give out $50, then that 45
Stays
Yeah.
in there.
is sitting there
Yeah.
waiting to be checked out.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's a concern because,
And then when the money runs out, someone gets an email all automatically, and you come and put more money in and make more money.
so then there's no, okay, well,
I'm sure that Amber, when she comes back to us with an actual resolution, with an agreement for us to sign, will have all of those kinks worked out, and I'm sure that those are all things that she's thought of and that they will be having a conversation. What she's asking for right now is pretty much permission to carry on this conversation, because she doesn't want to continue talking to minor hockey if council's going to say, no, you're not allowed to put an ATM in there anyways, right? So she wants to make sure that she's okay to have that conversation and come up with some
That's
sort
how
of
I
an
see it.
agreement with minor
But
hockey.
it kind of appears that her question is whether or not we feel like this should be tendered out. It's not a question whether.
That's
or not
another
it's-
one, yeah,
Yeah.
she thinks
Oh, I
it should
think
be
it-
tendered.
It doesn't need to be done?
I'd have to look into it.
She,
But I
yeah,
mean-
she's asking about that.
The concession has to be tendered and the skate shop has to be tendered.
I see this different, right?
Yeah, like,
Something- they're not
This is
sh-
a
they're
business
not-
opportunity.
Well, if
Not for
you
minor
if you have
Yeah.
cash machines around town, and I have cash machines around town, and I know the rec director better than you, so I get the cash machine, you're not going to be happy.
But
So
like-
you got to put out a tender.
come on, you guys.
I think
Like, they make like maybe 30 cents per transaction. Like, we're not talking about like a business opportunity that's all of a sudden they're going to be multi-million dollars off of the freaking ATM
Well, you're not
machine.
that one, but
No.
you make more than 30 cents a transaction.
Yeah. And there's a lot of
Really?
transactions.
If it's $2, you maybe get 15 cents.
So I would
And then
suggest,
I will
that
look
if
into it if
anything,
it needs to be tendered.
Okay, so they're going to make $1.50 a transaction.
so
like-
if anything, if you put it to tender, you run the risk that,
Minor hockey.
Chad Zelinski decides that he's gonna put it,
Yeah.
a response to the tender, and then it doesn't become a fundraising opportunity for one of the user groups. So
Right.
I think I think it would be a good thing if this is an opportunity available to users of the arena.
I was just going to say
And I
yes.
don't know that that needs to be a public tender. That can probably go through a call for a or whatever, an invitation to
Request for
tender, a selective
proposal.
invitation to tender or whatever, and let the users of the ice surface know that this is available as a fundraising
Invitation to
opportunity.
tender.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well, there's minor hockey, there's a skating club, there's the Poss Steamers probably, or
There's
something like
curling,
that.
yeah, curling.
Minor
Well,
hockey.
curling's on the other
Curling's on the
side.
other side, they have their own ATM
Yeah.
already
Do they? Oh,
installed.
okay.
yeah.
Do they have an ATM at the curling
I think
rink?
so.
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
think they
should
do.
talk about that one time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've left. the
I'm more inclined to go along with that,
Yeah.
that it be the user groups who are able to tender, and
And-
limit it to them.
To that end, I would be even, I don't know, where we draw the line, I suppose, on what's considered to be a user group and what's not, how much ice time is required and whatever, but I mean, if you said
Amber
to
knows.
the Poss Skating Club and to minor hockey, look, this is an opportunity available, they are the two major
Yep.
user groups
That are nonprofit.
that are nonprofit, that are for kids.
And minor hockey did approach them. It's
Yeah.
not like Amber approached.
Yes.
But, so,
Oh, we can.
Doesn't need to be dragged out forever either, right? Like,
Yeah.
we could do this pretty quickly.
Yep.
And won't they be happy come chase the ace time?
Okay?
Does it need to come back here? Does it need to come back?
It will.
It will to
eventually.
sign the actual
An
agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it won't have to come back for the discussion.
Okay, so you're clear on where we're headed?
Yeah,
Okay.
find out if an invitation to tender
Yeah.
and percentage, it'll be an agreement.
Okay.
And no lease.
4.5, Canadian Union of Postal Workers.
The town received the attached letter from Canadian Union of Postal Workers regarding the Canada Post Review. The letter is asking that the views of the municipality are considered during each stage of the Canada Post Review. They are urging the town to fill out the parliamentary committee's online survey from September 26th to October 21st. And I've provided the website, and to encourage residents to do the same. They're also asking the town to consider passing a new resolution, which is attached. Recommendation is if council is going to fill out the survey, it should be reviewed by all members of council before it's filled out, or have the CAO fill it out on behalf of council. Put the link of the survey on the town website and Facebook for the public to access. Review the resolution to make sure it reflects views if council's in favor of passing the resolution.
Okay, so I'll be the first one off the block. The second whereas, I don't think this is our business to get involved in that. The third whereas, I don't think this is our business to get involved in that. I just really don't want to have anything to do with this
The
resolution.
first whereas doesn't even apply to us. We don't
Yeah.
have home mail delivery in
No, we have almost home.
I think
delivery.
Jen should just fill it out for us. 'cause
I think everybody
She
on
keeps giving me
council
the
should
long
just
list.
I'm not interested.
if you want to fill it out, then fill it out like any other survey. Like, why are we making our staff
Yeah,
fill
I
out
have-
surveys for
I have-
us? Like, seriously, I mean, if you don't want to fill it out, don't fill it out. If it matters to you and you want to fill it out, but I don't think we should be making our
I've
staff
lived
do
here
it for
for
us.
23 years and I've had to go to the post office every time to get my mail. Not once have they brought it to me. So I'm used to it.
But one of the things
That's
is
super lots.
saving the post office, right?
Oh,
It's online now, there's no.
I don't pay enough taxes for that.
So
yes, you do.
don't do the resolution, everyone can do it.
Oh, that's just me. That's
Yeah.
only me. I'm not.
Well, we can get,
Well,
I don't think the resolution really applies to us.
I don't
Like, I
think
mean,
we-
do we, I mean,
I-
the one thing in their letter, or their, like, because obviously it was a form letter that was sent out, like, the one thing that does apply to us is like having a physical post office.
I would encourage.
And everything else doesn't, it doesn't really apply to us. I mean, I think if we feel like we want to make a resolution that says like, you know, like keeping our public post office open is important to us, then that's what our resolution should say, but that we shouldn't just sign the, I don't know.
I believe what you said about not being our business
Yeah.
has been echoed around this table once
Yeah.
already.
Already much, yeah. I would encourage members of council to go online and fill out their survey,
I think Jen should fill it out.
but I think,
That's
I don't
true.
think we're interested in doing much more than that.
You both want really big
No, I
resolutions
want the
next
short
time,
ones.
don't you?
No, I have to.
Okay?
And
Any other thoughts?
you put that link on the website and Facebook for the public to
I'm
see
okay
it?
with
Sure.
that, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
No, it's
For
good.
sure.
Yeah?
We
Let
can be
people know
supportive
that.
that way,
Public
yeah.
opinion's an important thing.
You better do this.
Okay? We're good? 4.6, payroll and accounts.
Oh, more numbers.
Yeah. You're getting good at it.
Not really. This disbursement report is attached, payroll period 20 in the amount of $105,630.83. Town of the Paw checks, general checks, $2,713,564.06. With a few notes I'll make here, checks 17703 was to Dunnigan's Tree Service. Obviously that was for some tree removals. Jim signed this check already, he knows about it, $1,719 to Kelsey School Division, $1,889,602.61 was for Kelsey School Division taxes
What year?
this year, 2016.
It's our final one, isn't it? Or are there
There'll
one
probably
more?
be one more.
Yeah, one more.
That's because all property taxes were collected, so it was their share of the property taxes collected. Check 17728 to Northern Lights Paving, $88,268.51, self-explanatory, all the paving that's been done, potholes being fixed. Another check to Public School Finance Board, $505,077.91, that's also part of the school taxes. Provincial portion, and then the CDC, town paid them the $92,000 for their grant. Then there was KRC checks in the amount of $14,798.20 and EFTs in the amount of $41,440.37.
What's an EFT?
Electronic
Oh,
funds
gotcha,
transfer.
okay.
And I need a resolution for that.
Can
Okay.
we find out when we're gonna get a finance report too?
It's attached,
We don't know.
it's coming.
June.
It's coming up.
Oh, okay then, shut it up then.
Okay, we'll have a resolution,
right
pay the
there.
bills. 4.7, Paw Regional Library audited financial
I missed
statements.
that the first one around. We thought it was like, you know, the disbursement one.
The Paw Regional Library audited financial statements have been received for review. Statement of operations shows a deficit of $1,087 for 2015. Review of revenues show very little fluctuation between budget and actuals. However, there's a variation of expenses of approximately $17,000 in salaries. This was largely due to an invoice that was received for 2014 payroll from the town in 2015. The surplus in 2014 reflects this amount, so it was kind of an in and out.
Yeah.
Approval of the 2015 financial statement for the library. We need a resolution to accept that. the CFO is suggesting moving forward for 2017 budget, a per capita funding model based on the most current census information should be introduced for all of the entities the town of the Paw provides funding to. As well, the library pays approximately $30,000 a year in building expenses, so relocation can result in a cost share agreement or elimination of these expenses.
Okay, any comments?
We just basically, again, we just need a resolution accepting these financial statements.
That's what we're looking for here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was just some more info we
Yeah.
should provide.
It is mostly for information purposes come budget time, but we need a resolution to accept the audited statement. So we're good to go? We'll have a resolution then? Okay.
Yeah.
4.8, finance report ending June of 2016.
I'm self-explanatory, I don't know if everyone reviewed it. Tax levy revenues have been recognized for 2016 year, however, majority of the expenses have not. Current surplus is not forecasted to continue. And then Jody had commented that if there was any questions to provide them to her, and I'm not sure if there were any. I did ask why it was only done to June 30th, and, well, I did comment, I don't know, I commented to Randy, she was gonna ask, and I never did see the reason why it was just till June, considering we're into October, but.
Well, if I may recommend,
Time-consuming.
is that we move forward with a resolution to accept the financial statement. I would ask that people go through it, and if they have questions, direct them to Jody, probably through Jen or Randy.
I'm not a finance person, so I can't even begin to comment on here, sorry.
I don't think you should be expected to. Everybody okay with that idea?
I think if there was something major that jumped out, Jody would have addressed it.
Well, the biggest issue is just not all the expenses are being recognized monthly. They're being recognized when the expenses are coming rather than prorated monthly, which kind of throws things off in terms of looking at an actual view of where we're sitting. And it makes it tough to disseminate what we're actually looking at here. We've got, where we're sitting right now, looks like we're sitting with a $3.5 million surplus.
And that's why she said the current
For
surplus
sure,
is not
no, I
forecast.
realize that, but I'm just saying that's the reasoning why. It's because the expenses are being not recognized on a quarterly basis, I'm assuming.
So are we making a recommendation that you would like to see what happen?
I don't know if
I
that's
don't
what's
know
going
if she,
on.
Yeah, I think what would be useful, and I mean, I don't know how easy or hard this might be, but I mean, a statement that shows that, look, if she's only able to provide actual expenses to June 30th because the registers haven't caught up for whatever reason, that's fine. Show us what we were expected to be spent to June 30th, show us what we've actually spent to June 30th, and we know our exact position at June 30th.
Yeah.
With respect to budget, as opposed to, I mean, we've got our budgeted costs for the year, we've got an actual spent to the end to June. It doesn't really, it may tell us that we're 60% spent for the year, but that doesn't tell us if that was actually the budget for the year. It might have been our budget to be 70% spent by June, and we're doing well, and we don't really have an indication of that. That's kind of what we're after in this report, I think.
Yeah, in addition to that, I would say also show us you're committed. Because dollars may be committed, but the work may not be done, so the money's not spent, it's
I agree.
not paid
Yeah.
out. So that way it gives it a clearer picture of where we're at.
Yeah.
But also ask, you have, like, this is June, right? There's no point in going back and redoing like July, August, right? Just get caught up and then say where we're at.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
right? Like, there's no point in going back.
Well,
Fixing June and then fixing July, like, June's,
We're looking at June and
it's not
October.
useful anymore, right? So we gotta-
Well, yeah, it's
Better than
we're
we've
gonna
seen
need the next
previously.
one.
For sure, no.
Yeah,
I'm, to that end, I mean, I'm okay with us getting some anecdotal comments to the end of the fiscal year here,
Yep.
and then with the new budget year, and then the follow-up, that we, modified some more, improved some more, so that we're getting a more timely tracking and update on where we're at for spend against budget.
perhaps it wouldn't hurt then maybe to have Jody come to the next committee of the whole, just to, we're going to have some questions, obviously. I can see brain matter moving around.
Yeah, I think it's important to hear from her as to how our system is structured to kick out reports and what kind of, maybe this is
Well,
the
yeah.
type of report. So-
And I
so
think
that's
it's
where
important for the
we need
community
to
to
know
hear.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we may be asking things that we have a system that doesn't easily produce that, for
Is
whatever
that,
reason.
is that a request we
So
can
we need
make?
to know that from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even comment on that, like
Yeah.
I have no,
Yeah.
so. I will
Okay, so
ask
we'll
her to
just
come
invite
to
Jody
this.
to the next committee of the whole. Okay? It's
But
good
we're
to see
still,
this
a
stuff.
resolution still for that?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, emergency measures?
The town's emergency measures plan has been updated. Only changes were to the contact people and the phone numbers. This is done on a yearly basis, and Manitoba Emergency Measures Organization requires a resolution to accept the changes. And if anyone wants to review
Oh, I knew
it,
you were going to do that.
you're more than welcome to come and look at it.
It's wonderful, Reed.
Can you summarize it for us in about a page or so?
No, but it's.
No, you're not gonna-
No, I'm not. It's.
I especially enjoyed page 387.
Yeah,
It's one of my
it's-
favorites.
Yeah. Oh, just,
Riveting.
it is, you can't put it down. Yeah.
It's the go-to book if an emergency
Yeah.
happens,
no,
and
it's-
Randy and I open it, and it
That's-
should give you the information. Being a small community, it's not, it's a guideline in case somebody who's not from the community comes in and opens it.
Have we heard from EMO at all lately with all the rain and the overland flood watches and stuff? They haven't phoned to say, hey, we got some potential
that I'm
issues on the
aware of.
landscape anywhere?
So I did see a picture on Facebook of the Pasco River over the bank, and I'm wondering what anybody would know about that.
Don't believe things you see on Facebook.
I know, that's what I was thinking as soon as I saw it. Don't believe that, it can't be true. Anyway, I'll just make that comment that I saw
No,
a
I
picture
will
of
check
what
with-
was said to be the Pasco River and it was overflowing.
I'll check with Chris and
Yeah.
Sam.
Because we have had a ridiculous amount of moisture in the last couple of weeks.
You
I'm
look
gonna
on
go
the
down and see,
fields.
Oh.
go down and see Crystal Drive down there. I don't know how that goes right, with Crystal Drive, right to the end. There's two little girls at the end, and it's over halfway up the end
Unbelievable.
of the driveway. Everything's flat there, so they get a half an inch of water. There's a half an inch of water over everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have a resolution to accept the plan? Recreational Infrastructure Reserve Fund, Councillor Gibb.
You want to speak to it?
Sure.
Thank you.
So with the passing of bylaw 4535, where 25% of the accommodation tax is going to be allocated to recreational infrastructure fund, I think we should commit that money now before we come up with any great ideas on spending it on things we've already spent on. So we have debentures that everyone in the community pays, and people that don't live in the community don't pay, but it's for infrastructure like the wellness center and the multiplex, which is the rink. And those are the two big ones. And I noted in there, and I said this even before I was on council, when you look at communities that have a combination tax and where you see the least amount of feedback, you look at Thompson, and they've committed theirs to certain funds sort of like this, and once it's there, it rolls, and there you go. So this is something that, it's a couple $1 million still, it's going to be there for another 20 years, so before we come up with new great ways to spend it on things we may or may not need, why don't we try and pay off what we have already? And that would be a benefit to all the taxpayers in town, and we might need a little cushion 2 or 3 months from now. So even if this saves everyone $25, it saves everyone $25. So,
So I know we've discussed trying to pay down Quebec early before.
This isn't.
this isn't, so this is just annually, we can set up a fund, right? So we get it, and you make the payment.
Okay.
So the difference would go on the, when you get your tax bill, you have wellness center, multiplex.
Yeah.
It's a third one.
Wood Acres
Wood Acres too. So, right, so it would go to that pool and apply to one of them, right? So
Okay.
like right now, it pays, everyone pays whatever it is on there. So if it's $2 million, well, and the interest this year and the principal is 150, I think is what it is. Well, maybe 50,000 a year goes to it. So the rest of the community only has to pay the 100,000 instead of the 150, which I think is the best use of the money, as opposed to coming up with something new that's going to cost the taxpayers more money to operate and
It's not paying the debenture and down
No, no,
any
it's
faster.
faster.
It's
No, no,
taking,
just
it's
right,
taking it
and
off
It's
the
just all
taxpayers.
taken off to the
No, I
taxpayers,
spoke to
yeah.
Jody and that seemed, I think you could work it that way.
Yeah, Jody said
Yeah.
she's looked into it,
Yeah.
it could be done. And Randy suggested that it's a good idea too.
Yeah, I'm done.
I support it.
Thanks
Support
for
Ellen,
bringing,
yeah.
thanks for bringing my idea forward, Ellen.
I was
Yes.
also gonna suggest that if you want it to be that way, not always and forever, but we can amend bylaw 4536, which is the Destination Marketing Reserve Fund, and you can put it right in that reserve fund bylaw, allocating so much of that 25% or all that 25% to go towards that debenture.
In addition to that, like you mean both of them?
No, no.
Just don't get all excited
yeah.
there.
No, like we have a
Just
a bylaw.
25.
A
Never with
bylaw
her yet?
create-
What do you mean with her?
Oh, my goodness.
Soon, very soon.
We have a bylaw that creates the Destination Marketing Reserve Fund, which is created through 25% of the accommodation fund. We can put right in that bylaw that it will be used for the wellness center debenture.
Sure.
Just,
I just, let's get that decided.
God, could we just
When we
like
head into
roll
budget,
out the
well, that'll
bylaw
be it
first
decided.
before we start making amendments and
Oh.
changes
oh no, that
to
bylaw's
it?
already out.
It's
You guys
invisible
have passed
ink, it
those
disappears
bylaws
after a
already.
while.
It's just a suggestion, and then
Never
there's
works.
no,
Just
then
as
you've
long as
got
it's committed.
paper, that's how you can commit it on paper.
What
by
if though,
putting
in
it
2
the
years
bylaw.
from now,
Then
new
you change your
council's
bylaw.
here and they don't want to do that?
And that's her.
Then they
That's
can
their
tear it
bylaw.
apart and send it off to.
Okay.
And the public has 3 opportunities to object to it when they have to
That's
read
right.
the bylaw to
Yeah,
change it.
yeah.
It's just a suggestion to have it on paper and saying that's what you guys want.
Do you think that's best, Jen?
But we'll move forward with the resolution on this? Everyone?
Yes.
They do it just for this year and then we'll amend the bylaw, is that what you're saying? Like a
Sorry.
resolution for this year and then we'll reopen the bylaw?
You were never reopening that bylaw.
Yeah, can we just leave the bylaw and just?
It's
It's,
locked away
it's,
for-
it's not the accommodation tax bylaw I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Oh.
about the Destination Marketing Reserve bylaw.
This one we're dealing with on
Totally
this
different.
resolution is the accommodation. Right?
No.
No.
No,
No,
No.
we're dealing,
You're
The
dealing with
recreation
destination
infrastructure.
marketing.
The
Recreational
funds have different
infrastructure, yeah.
bylaws. There's the accommodation
sorry,
tax
the
bylaw,
recreation, I said destination marketing.
Okay, I knew what you meant.
and then
Recreation.
there are bylaws associated with the actual funds.
Yeah,
And so it will be a change to the fund bylaw.
that's right.
Okay,
Not the tax.
okay, I'm there,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay then.
yeah.
so are we doing
Yeah.
that or are we doing a resolution for this year's allocation?
I think we should just do it for this year's allocation.
And then not touch.
You wouldn't change a bylaw for just 1 year, you pass a resolution.
Yeah, I think we change it.
So you just want to do it for this year, you don't want to do it for always and forever?
Always and forever.
Yeah,
I think
would change
always,
the bylaw.
always and
I think it's a
forever.
I'm
great
fine with
idea.
changing the bylaw, yeah.
Yeah,
And you want all of that 25% to
Yep.
go to
Yep.
yep,
the
I
debenture?
would be
Yep.
specific, even you have to be specific that it, so that it's tagged to one of those facilities on
The
the.
wellness
Yep,
center,
the
the
wellness
bench
center.
center. that's
when the
the-
wellness
that's
center
the
debenture's
largest-
paid
that's
off,
the
then we can
largest
look at reopening it and figure what we're gonna do.
18 years from now,
We can build
Yeah.
onto the back.
when it's paid
We have
off.
reopened the,
Phase 2.
yeah.
Can,
Okay?
Maybe we can build a spray park
Can we
then.
get my name, can we get my name attached to
can we have
it?
some sort of a model of how this benefits the taxpayer?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's one of those things, they'll think, like was mentioned here earlier, that, oh, we'll pay down the debenture. Well, no, the debenture's on its own
We're like
plan. We're
paying
just
part of your
saving money,
debenture
we're
for
setting
you.
money aside so that we don't have to tax you
I
every
will
year.
word
Yeah.
I will word the amendment to
Accordingly.
the bylaw that explains, it'll alleviate.
Perfect.
The burden.
The burden, yeah.
From the taxpayer.
Okay, we're moving on.